Listings are the name of the game in real estate. Every agent knows it. The agent who controls listings controls their market. They control their income, their schedule, their business. And yet, most agents believe the only way to get listings is to spend money. Facebook ads, Zillow leads, direct mail campaigns, thousands of dollars a month, chasing sellers who may or may never pick up the phone. I want to tell you something different today. The two most effective listing strategies I have ever used. Strategies that have generated real listings, real commissions, and real relationships have cost me almost nothing in paid advertising. One of them is your past client database. The other is your open houses. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how both of those work, including a strategy inside the open house approach that most agents never think about. My name is Scott Kumler. I'm a real estate team leader based in Arizona. Let's get into it. Before I get into the specific strategies, I want to explain why organic listing strategies often outperform paid advertising, even when the paid ad budgets are significant. Here's the core reason. Paid ads reach people who don't know you. They're strangers. They have no reason to trust you over the next agent whose ad they'll see in 5 minutes later. So you're competing purely on who showed up first or who spent the most money to be seen. Organic strategies reach people who already have a relationship with you, people who have seen you in action, who have experienced how you work, who already have a reason to trust you. And in a transaction as significant as selling a home, trust is everything. Sellers don't choose the agent with the most ads. They choose the agent they trust most with one of the biggest financial decisions of their life. Organic strategies build that trust in a way that no ad spend ever can. Now let's get into exactly how to build a listing pipeline organically, starting with the most powerful source of all. The single most powerful source of organic listings I have ever found is my past client database. And here's the insight that drives this entire strategy. Every buyer you help today is a potential seller in the future. Almost every seller in this country was a buyer first. They bought a home, they lived in it, their life changed, job, family, finances, and eventually they needed to sell. And when that moment came, who do you think they called? If you stayed in consistent contact with them, they called you. If you disappeared after closing, they called whoever they happened to think of in that moment, which was probably not you. This is why building and maintaining your past client database is not just a referral strategy, it's a listing strategy. Every buyer you help today is planting a seed for a future listing. The question is whether you stay connected long enough to harvest it. Here's how I approach past client relationships specifically for listing generation. First, stay in consistent contact after closing. Not a mass email, personal touches. A call on their home anniversary every year. A text on their birthday, a market update when something significant happens in their neighborhood. Something like, hey, I was just thinking about you. A home on your street just sold for X dollar amount. Just want to make sure you knew your home value is looking like. Hope you guys are doing great. That message takes 30 seconds to send, and it does 3 things at once. It reminds them that you're still in real estate, it shows you know their market, and it plants a seed about their home's value. That is a listing conversation waiting to happen. Second, provide genuine value at every touch point. Don't reach out, just check in. Reach out with information they actually care about. What's their neighborhood doing? Are values up or down? Are there market conditions that might make this a good time for them to consider selling? When you consistently show up as someone who knows the market and is thinking about their best interests, you become the obvious choice when they're ready to list. Third, ask directly, but naturally. At some point in your check-in conversations, it is completely appropriate to ask, have you guys ever thought about your next chapter? Whether that's staying put, upsizing, or eventually making a move? That question is not pushy, it's genuinely curious. And the answers will tell you exactly where each past client is in their journey, and whether a listing conversation is months away or years away. The agents who generate the most organic listings are not the agents who spend the most on ads. They are the agents who stay connected to the people they already help, long enough to be the obvious choice when those people are ready to sell. Your past client database is not just a referral engine, it's a listing pipeline. Treat it that way. The second organic listing strategy, and the one that most agents completely overlook, is the open house. Now you might be thinking, Scott, open houses are for buyers, not sellers. And that's true. Most of the people who walk through the door are buyers, but there are 2 powerful listing opportunities hiding inside every open house, and most agents never tap into either of them. Let me break both of them down for you. Listing opportunity 1, your signage and marketing becomes a live audition. Here's something I want you to think about. When you put out 20 to 30 signs for an open house, who sees those signs? Not just the buyers driving through looking for a home, the neighbors see them too. The people who live on the street, who drive past it every day. And what do they see when they look at all those signs and banners? They see an agent who markets aggressively, who shows up, who makes a property impossible to miss. And here's the thought that goes through a neighbor's mind when they see that level of marketing effort. If that agent does this for someone else's home, What would they do for mine? That is a listing conversation that starts without you ever saying a word. Your marketing is your audition, and the neighbors are watching. This is why the number of signs you put out matters so much. Not just for driving buyers through the door, but for demonstrating to the entire neighborhood that your marketing looks like in action. Listing opportunity 2. Door knock the neighborhood before the open house. This is a strategy that most agents never think about, and is one of the most effective organic listing strategies I know. Before every open house, go door knock the surrounding neighborhood. Not to sell anything, not to pitch anyone, simply to personally invite the neighbors to the open house. Here's a simple approach that works well. Hi, I'm Scott Kumler. I'm a real estate agent and I'm hosting an open house this Saturday at blank address from 11 to 2. I wanted to personally stop by and invite you. It's a beautiful home and I'd love for you to come take a look. Also, if you ever thought about what your home might be worth in this market, I'd be happy to share what I'm seeing. Is that something that might be helpful to you? That conversation does several things at once. It gets you in front of neighbors in a completely non-threatening context. You're inviting them to something, not asking them for anything. It shows your face, your professionalism, and your work ethic before they ever step inside the open house. And it opens a natural door to a home value conversation, which is often the first step in a listing relationship. Now, here's what happens when neighbors actually show up to the open house. They're not there to buy, they already have a home. They're there because they're curious about what their neighbor's house looks like, and because they're thinking about what their home might be worth. That is extremely warm conversation to have. When a neighbor walks through and you've already met them at the door, when you've already had a friendly conversation about their home's value, you're not a stranger selling them something. You're someone they already know who is demonstrating exactly what they'd get if they listed with you. What did you think of this home? It's a great neighborhood. Have you guys ever thought about making a move, or are you pretty settled in? That question, asked naturally after a warm in-person interaction, is how open houses turn into listings. Not because you pitched anyone, because you showed up, did great work, and had a real conversation. Now let me show you how to run both strategies together because they compound each other in a powerful way. Here's a cycle I want you to build. Step 1, help a buyer purchase a home. Do exceptional work, communicate proactively, make them feel taken care of at every step, and then immediately to your database after closing. Step 2, stay in consistent contact with that buyer. Home anniversary calls, birthday texts, market updates for their neighborhood. Keep showing up so they never forget who helped them. Step 3, when they're ready to sell, you're the obvious choice. You don't have to compete for this listing. You've already won it by staying connected. Now you have a listing. Step 4, run an exceptional open house on that listing. Put out 20, 30 signs, market aggressively, make the home impossible to miss. Door knock the neighborhood the day before to personally invite the neighbors. Step 5, convert a neighbor into your next listing. The neighbor who saw your signs, who came to your open house, who had a conversation with you about their home's value, that neighbor becomes your next listing. And the cycle repeats. Do you see what's happening here? Every listing generates the marketing exposure that attracts the next listing. Every buyer relationship becomes a future seller relationship. Every open house becomes a neighborhood farming opportunity. And none of it requires you to spend $1 on paid advertising. This is how you build a listing business that compounds over time. Not by outspending the competition, but by outserving them. Let's bring this all together. Strategy 1, your past client database. Every buyer you help today is a potential seller in the future. Stay connected, provide value, ask the right questions, and when they're ready to list, you'll be the only agent they consider. Step 2, your open houses. Use your signage as a live marketing audition for the neighbors. Door knock the neighborhood before every open house to personally invite neighbors and open a home value conversation. Then convert those warm conversations into listing appointments. The cycle that makes it compound. Help buyers, turn them into sellers, list their home, use the open house to attract the next seller. Repeat. Every agent in this industry is looking for the secret to get more listings. The secret is not a better ad. The secret is deeper relationships and smarter use of the opportunities already in front of you. Your past clients are already there. Your open houses are already happening. The listings are already waiting. You just have to show up for them the right way. If you're a real estate agent who wants to build a listing pipeline that doesn't depend on spending thousands of dollars on ads every month, I want to help you build that because the strategies that I walked you through today are exactly what I teach the agents on my team. And they work. Not as a theory, as a system that generates real listings from real relationships. I do one-on-one Zoom calls with agents who want to talk through how to build a listing strategy that fits their market and their strengths. No pitch, no pressure, just a real conversation about what building an organic listing pipeline actually looks like for your specific situation. The link to book directly on my calendar is in the description below. It takes about 30 seconds to book a time that works for you. And this video will give you a strategy that you can put into action this week. Subscribe to this channel. I post content every week for real estate agents who want to build a real business without spending every dollar they earn trying to buy their next client. I'm Scott Kumler. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.